Hello, my name is David. Today I'm going to demonstrate on the use of hand hygiene and the vital of why it has been so important that hand hygiene has saved many lives. For example, we've heard it as called this 20-second hand 20-second rule. We've heard about the happy birthday song while you have soap under the sink, and we can even take it back a few hundred years, and before Christ. Think about the plagues. What has research said about those plagues and what has contributed to it? And one of the biggest things was things that could have been prevented, and that's hand hygiene, the lack of it. And even in our recently, in hundreds of years earlier, just when our country started, even our president himself, Mr. Washington, he's in the historical books for one who had illness that was caused due to lack of hand hygiene. So the errors of the past have led us to this basic vital point. I will demonstrate this technique. First, we will use water. We have the water, okay, warm to hot. Some of us will be using soap up to our elbows, depending on what we're working with. Some of us work with chemicals, some of us have dirt, okay. We have antibacterial soap, and we have a brush in case you have any dirty hands that cannot be washed alone by the technique we will learn, which can be used by the brush to get in a little deeper, okay, and agitated that skin a little more to get the get that dirt loose and the oils, okay. So now that we have that temperature going, we are going to put some soap in the palm and create that lathering, okay. Rub palms together, mix that water and soap well, create that sud. Once you create that sud, you're ready to move on, okay. You got 5 fingers in 4 spaces. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross the fingers where the thumbs are pushing against each other. And that is our focal point where you create that motion that makes the fingers rub each other's spaces, okay. After that, we switch one palm over to the top of the other hand, and then we rub. You notice how my thumb is on the outside, so it's kind of like grabbing a hand, okay. So then you switch hands, and then you do the same, okay. Now the most important thing is that we're getting the top of the hand thoroughly, okay. Now we move to the tips and the fingernails. So what I do is I usually create a circular, and if I slow down I would be doing this, but when I move in regular speed I'm doing this, okay. Now this is the point where you can get that brush and use it, okay. Now the next we will go to the most missed part of the hand, okay, and that's our thumb. When we do our thumb, make sure we grab the thumb with our other hand, okay? And we do an up and down stroke with circular movement, okay? Up and down stroke, circular movement, switch hands, okay? Alright, then finally, last but not least, we get that wrist, okay? Like I said before, depending on what you're dealing with, you will either have to go up higher to create that effective use of your mixing agent and water and the removal of dirt. Now when we rinse, it's pretty much undoing what you did. You use the same method you did when you washed. So let's do that same method we did when we washed. We rub those palms together, okay? Then we cross those fingers, okay? And then whatever soap we have that has removed any dirt, we remove it also with the dirt, in the nails, in the cuticles, okay, and in the tips, okay. We get those thumbs, okay. Get the top of those hands too. Not miss that, okay. Then get that wrist. All right. Very good. Then it's time to dry. Now, when we dry, always remember the most effective way to dry is always go against your wrist and open that hand up. Open that hand up, push back, grab that thumb, push back, okay? The reason, the rationale for that is just the way the skin's distributed. It's more effective to push towards the wrist because when you're walking, you're always walking like this and gravity is always pushing down, so the skin's distributed in that direction and the water is going to tend to hide under there. So it's really effective to go backwards, and you will get a fully efficient use of the towel when you do it this way, okay? So in conclusion, the 20-second hand rule is nice, but that hand technique is great, and it can definitely change lives. It definitely saves them. So water is a good neutralizer, but we have to remember that the mixing agent has to be made purposeful, okay? So remember what you do to one hand, you do to the other, okay? And I know you will enjoy the fully efficient use of your drying material, whatever you use when you use the method that I taught you. Okay, knowledge applied in full context is powerful, and is life-saving. So, and history has shown that. Thank you.